Hey, good morning. So, does moral authority carry a higher burden of foresight? What do I mean by that? Our religious leaders out here, who I talked about the Pope yesterday a little bit, but I shouldn't have singled him out only because almost all of our religious leaders are in line with the Pope's stance of negotiation over violence, no matter what the situation is. Um, I said that was weak, and I think that's a weak stance to take. I'll explain why, but um, I think it's the cop out. It's the easy way out. To anyone can walk around this planet and say whenever there's a conflict, "Oh, you should talk, don't fight." Anyone can say that. Anyone can say that. The problem is some of these religious figures, they carry moral authority. They carry a leadership role. And so taking the cop out, which is, talk no matter what, never have physical violence, always just talk. Parroting that and saying that every single time there's some kind of conflict, it sort of invalidates the role of leadership, because the whole point of leadership is sometimes you have to take a stand. And it may not seem like it fits in line with historically what religious leaders have done, but at some point, if you're a religious leader and you carry moral authority, you have to have enough foresight to understand that some conflicts cannot be settled through words. I can't believe, but this is the reality when it comes to religious leaders. Since every single religious leader always says you should talk instead of physically fight. Since that's what they say, right? And they're in a leadership role, what they're essentially saying is is no matter what's happening in the world, uh physical violence is never a part of the religious discussion. It just isn't. It's not something that people in religion should speak about. As soon as something gets physically violent, you have to run away. You have to leave that alone. And not only that, but you run into the other problem, which is if you're a religious leader and you have some foresight, and you know that a certain conflict is going to end in death no matter what, you know this. Why would you purposefully mislead your flock and tell your followers, no, that situation should just be words, when you know as a leader it's not going to end in words no matter what, no matter how many prayers that are given, it doesn't matter. Certain conflicts are going to end in physical death. So it's hard for me to understand how any religious leader out here can walk around this earth and operate as if physical death is impossible, that eventuality can never happen. Where does that thought come from? Well, of course they don't believe that. Of course, our religious leaders believe that some conflicts are going to end in death no matter what. They believe this. They know it because they've studied up on it and they've seen this to happen historically. So if they know some conflicts are going to end in physical death no matter what, and if they're faced with such a conflict, why would they tell their followers, hey, on that conflict, just pray for people to talk about peace and that we'll have peace when they know for a fact there won't be peace there in that conflict? Why mislead your followers? Why? Especially when, and this is where I have a problem with religious leaders today when it comes to the Iran conflict. The Iranians, people outside of their religious beliefs, the Shiite Muslim belief system, right? So anyone outside of the Iranian belief system, according to the Iranians themselves, the leadership, that if you are some other religion than them, that you are a blasphemy to God, that you should not have the right to exist, and that it's their job to eliminate all religions on earth except for their own. This is their belief. Now, a lot of people want to say that that's just rhetoric, that's just this or that. What it is their declaration of them saying they want to define reality for all human life. That's what they're saying when they're talking about the religious stuff. The Iranian leadership is basically saying that they feel as if it is their mission to create reality for every single living human being on earth. And a part of that reality is forcing every single human to worship them and their God. This is this is their belief. Not only do they say that they believe this, but they actually do actions. They go to war to create this scenario. They try to build nuclear bombs to create this scenario. That's what they're all about. And so if you're a religious leader and you're like, let's say, a Catholic leader or a Christian, a Protestant leader, and you know for a fact that the Iranian regime under your religion, let's say it's the Pope in Catholicism, he knows for a fact that the Iranian regime, they are blasphemers of God. He knows this. He knows it. Not only does he know that, but he also knows that they're evil and that they're murderers. He knows all of this, right? Everyone knows this about them. So since everyone knows this, what is it? Why is it so hard for religious leaders to accept the fact that this group of individuals will only go for death and physical death? Their only goal is either they die or everyone else dies. This is, and they're doing, and they've proven through their actions that this is who they are. So it's not like this is some kind of mythical illusion. This is who these guys are. So since that's who they are, why are religious leaders getting involved on a geopolitical level, giving these guys the opportunity to be viewed as if they're something other than just evil trying to create death? Because the thing about it is if you know that's what they are, then why are you promoting verbal negotiations with them? You would know if you had the foresight that they're only using verbal negotiations to position themselves to kill people easier, to destroy other religions easier. Like, I don't understand. And so I guess it gets me to this place where, and I've had an issue with this with just religion across the board in 2026, is that our religious leaders, I don't think they have the wisdom or the knowledge to be able to lead their flocks geopolitically or even politically. I think they're stepping into waters they don't need to be stepping into because they don't understand the situations that they're speaking on. They think they do because they've got these great advisors, but I've experienced just in my line of work that the best advisors out there are pretty crappy. And not only that, but most of the time they're not even listened to anyway. So the good advisors aren't even listened to. So so it's like, look, we don't have good advisors in the world today. We don't have good leadership in the world today. We don't have good leadership, knowledgeable, wise leadership in the Christian world today. It's not there. And so because of that, why are Christians even talking about this Iranian situation? Why? It's better just to admit we don't know what's going on. We don't know who those guys are over there. It's better to say that and stay out of it than to be pushing this narrative that the Iranian leadership is a leadership that can be negotiated with, that they are people who can live on this earth peacefully with other humans outside of their religion. They cannot. They don't have that capability. People are asking, well, how is that? What are you trying to say? They're like animals? No, what I'm saying is they purposefully made the choice to only be able to function one way in life, and that is as religious zealots trying to enslave everyone else around them underneath them. They've dedicated their entire lives to this. This is their existence. This is their reality. I mean, people choose that sometimes. And these guys happen to choose it and they happen to form a coalition around it and they're kicking ass. They're no joke. Like they are making progress. If they continue down their path, they get nuclear weapons, they are going to be able to say, "Hey, we're going to be able, they're going to be able to force millions and millions, maybe a lot of the world underneath their religion." Why? Because no, it's not that people believe in their religion, it's just that they don't want to die. That's how these guys operate. The Iranian regime is this is how they operate. If you don't agree with their religion and come up under it, they murder you. They kill you. It's really that simple. So it's hard for me as I watch all this happening with Iran and the war, and I see all the people pontificating on it. I see the religious leaders stepping in, and it's rough to watch because it's like people are blind to reality right now. It's like they don't want people aren't trying to people don't want to accept that there are people in this world who make it a mission of theirs to be religious zealots and to enslave others. Like there are people who do this. And the Iranian regime is that group. They believe in that, right? And so the way that they do their thing is they tell the Chinese and the Europeans, hey, support us in our craziness and we'll give you cheap oil. And don't worry about the oil going up because we're going to brutalize our own people and make sure that they're okay with suffering and living poor forever. Don't worry about them. Just keep giving us the weapons, keep giving us the technology, and we'll take care of Iran and we're going to take care of the rest of the Middle East and then we'll move on everywhere else. Just you, the Europeans and the Chinese, just keep funding us, keep paying us. And then when you wonder, why are the Europeans and the Chinese doing that? Well, first of all, the Chinese, they don't believe in any kind of God or anything. And so for them, the Iranian regime is just an easy tool to push around and to use to their benefit, right? And so you got that. And then the Europeans are just greedy, man. They're greedy. They don't give a damn about anybody. They'll cut a deal with anyone as long as they can get what they want. It doesn't matter how many people die. It doesn't matter how many innocent people are murdered. It doesn't matter to the Europeans. That's the European culture. The European culture is they want their money and they will do anything for it. And they will support anyone for their cash. That's it. So the Iranian psychos partnered up with two greedy civilizations, basically, the Chinese and the Europeans. These guys are greedy. Okay. That's all they care about in all of this is the money. Okay. And the Iranians were smart to partner with them. And so what we have now is we've got these religious leaders stepping in the middle of this, where you've got greed and murder on one side, and you've got the rest of the world who doesn't want to die on the other. And the religious guys come in and say, just talk to them. We just talk. What is there to talk about? What is there to talk about? Negotiate our decline, negotiate all of our deaths. Well, what's the point of that? Nah, man. If we are at the point where we're just negotiating our slow decline into oblivion, then let's just wipe them out now. I don't get it. And so I'm not saying I carry religious authority here. I don't want to have religious authority. I don't want to be viewed as that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that someone who is not a religious authority and who is not a, out here claiming to try to push a religion, or I'm not, I have my own personal beliefs on this, but uh I do feel like being in this space that I'm in, the research space that I'm in the media space that I'm in, that and the fact that I am Christian, I am very much a person who walks in faith constantly. I just feel like that I have a duty to kind of, tell these religious leaders that they don't really understand what's going on with this Iranian situation, and they're getting involved in something and they're making it worse for innocent people. They really should just step aside on this. Okay. Um, my experience on this, by the way, is with US politicians, and doing the work that I've done in the past on unearthing corruption on them. And you, like the book, Bob Menendez, you can see in the book, if you get the book and you read, you can see that Bob Menendez is this kind of evil character, right? Where no matter how much rope you give him, he's going to use it to attack you more. He's going to use it to hurt innocent people. That's the kind of man he was. So when he got a hung jury back in 2017, what did he say? He was resurrected like Jesus, and he went about becoming even more corrupt. There was no talking to him. There is still no talking to men like him. And we have a lot of politicians like that who are so corrupt, even when you call them out, even when they get caught, they only get worse. I've seen this so many times. And so now I'm looking at the Iranians and they fit the mental mold of that. They are the types who, no matter what happens, they're going to continue to get worse, no matter what. There are people like this. There are organizations, groups, entities that are like this. It's very frustrating that we have religious leaders who don't understand this, who it's like they deny that this exists when it's basically everywhere we look. I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm dealing with it so much on the political level here in the United States. I am sick of it. Every time I turn over a rock, I'm seeing a corrupt politician becoming more corrupt, even after they're caught. It's as if being caught or facing pushback emboldens them to be more evil. I don't know why that is. I can't explain it. But I'm telling you, it's a thing. And it's happening here in the United States. And it's happening all over the world like crazy. And so this Iranian situation is that because everyone involved is sort of, they have this mentality of no matter how much pushback we get, no matter how much we may get caught, we're still going to double, triple down and get worse and worse. The Chinese are this way. The Europeans are this way. The Iranians are. Trump is this way. Everyone involved in this, they all have this same template about them, which is no matter how, as a matter of fact, the more pushback you give them, the more they double down, going the wrong way. This is the mentality. But what proves to me that President Trump is in the proper position here, believe it or not, is that he has given the Iranians chance after chance to be like, to just give up and walk away. So Trump has not been escalating it uncontrollably. He's been providing off ramps to these guys. But the problem is people aren't realizing they're never going to take an off ramp. Their off ramp, they already know what it is. It goes to hell. That's their off ramp. So offering them any other off ramp other than hell, they're not going to take it. And so that's where religious leaders have to step in and just realize, look, man, these guys, the leadership in Iran, they have a one-way trip to hell. It's up to us whether we want to join them or not. They have told this to us with their own mouths. They have explained it to us through their actions for decades now. There should be no illusion where they're going. and why they're going that way. So we should stop as religious leaders trying to step into this, promoting stuff that's unrealistic. Okay? It's unrealistic to believe that the Iranian regime will walk away peacefully. They're not. You have to kill all of them. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. And all their partners want to keep them alive because they enjoy this. Because at the end of the day, chaos makes money for certain countries and certain individuals. And our religious leaders calling for talks, all it does is make the situation way more chaotic, which is going to force the people around the Iranians. It's going to have them poke them to get more aggressive, to force more chaos because it creates more money for them. This is what's going on. Like, we need to unplug ourselves from whatever dream world we're in and realize that we're dealing with people who are professional murderers, scammers, schemers. This is what they do. They've perfected it. And they are not interested in talking to us. They're not interested in talking to their prey. They're not. When we talk to them, in their minds, that's us showing weakness and giving them opportunity to hurt us even worse than they already could. That's what's going on. So yeah, thanks again. This is the Off Ramp. I am your host, Thomas Jason Anderson. Thank you again for joining. Please subscribe and like and share. I will see you guys soon. Take care.
Now I'ma put it down like that. I'm leaving, I ain't coming back. You don't like the way I act anyway. You really don't have to react. Don't try to change my mind, in fact. Honey, I've already packed all my stuff. We're no longer kids, let's move on. And you are not my kid, so I'm done. Please don't make me pull my gun. Sorry boy, I can't be the one. You know it, yeah. Nothing lasts forever. You know that a change will make it better. You know that nothing lasts forever. You know that, yeah, change will make it better. There's no one to blame, you see. Maybe we're not meant to be. There are plenty more fish in the sea anyway. Every day's a different thing, so I'm not into wedding rings. It ain't personal, it's the way I think.